When I was 13, soon after I moved to Florida, my great-grandmother had died. She had a brain hemorrhage and had been hospitalized for about 2 to 3 years by then. She was taking care at my grandparents' home with a monitor and a nurse who would come to check up every once in a while. One night, though, she died. My family tried to get her to the hospital, but it was too late. She had already passed in their room. I was very depressed at the time, and my great-grandmother's death made it even worse. I couldn't make many friends in high school, and I was so alone. Soon after, when summer rolled back around, I went on vacation with my parents, back to Puerto Rico. I visited my grandparents and stayed over the night. I felt this urge to go to the room that she died in. I don't know why something was telling me to go. When I entered the room, I felt a presence. I could feel her there, and I felt her arm around my shoulder. And she spoke to me. She consoled me and helped me, and I wanted to see her, but when I turned around, she was gone. I've tried many times to see her again, but her presence in the room is gone. I can't feel her anymore. I hope to one day be able to again. So, I have a candle, a religious one. I light it at night in a safe area in my room and sleep, and when I wake up to do my stuff, I blow it out. Now, a few days ago I did that. I blew the flame out in the morning. I was in my house all day, going in and out of my room. The candle was not lit. Then I stepped out of my room when it was nightfall to smoke a quick cigarette outside. When I came back in my room, the smell of a blown out flame was lingering, and the freaking candle was lit. It was at least 8 hours since it was lit. No way of it coming back on in such a long time a span. I was spooked, but let it ride because we have good energy in my house. Just sharing this story because I have to let someone know. I want to share a story. I experienced one of the most horrible things in my current life. I was staying in my ex-girlfriend's house. I was recently meeting and getting to know their family. She was very careful of what behavior her family wanted to demonstrate when I'm around. I noticed something was odd with her family. They practiced some religious similar to voodoo, or maybe Caribbean dark religion. One day I was sleeping and I felt like I could wake up and have feelings like I was drowning. I was in the stage of complete consciousness. For 2 hours, with many fights, I could finally open my eyes. When I opened, I felt something running away from me. I heard big stomps running away from me. Till this day, I'm still scared and confused. I didn't know anything about what happened to me that night. Hope nobody will ever have this experience like I did. Something very strange happened to me. Background to my previous paranormal encounters, I don't usually have any strange business with entities. If they end up in my house, I smudge them away, and they stop bothering me. It has been a while since I've smudged my home, though. Back to the story. I was in the bath, just relaxing with my eyes closed. Suddenly, I felt a surge of very aggressive energy build up over me. So I opened my eyes in surprise. I caught a brief glimpse of a silhouette above me for a split second. It looked like an inverted shadow. Not sure how to explain this. It was like a shadow but paler than the surroundings. I closed my eyes again and I saw 2 glowing eye-like orbs for a moment. I can't remember their color, only that they were bright, and I felt like they were watching me. Then I felt something on my lips, as if someone was kissing them very lightly or brushing them, and I instantly felt nauseous and drained. Has anyone ever encountered something similar? Was this a ghost? An incubus? And I was not asleep, so it couldn't have been sleep paralysis. Hello everyone. Just around 20 minutes ago I woke up. I was going to reach for my glasses until I noticed something. My phone nor my glasses were there. I was worried as heck. After 10 seconds, I realized they were in my bed. I was so confused though, as I always put my phone and my glasses on my desk. Sleepwalking is an option, but I've never done it as far as I know. I don't have proof of this happening, but I do have this photo to show. If I ever get a nanny cam, I will use it because I am so confused. I think this could be paranormal. Anyways, please help to try to find what's going on here. It's very much appreciated. This happened when I was 14 to 15 years old. Now I'm 19 years old, and something inside of me is begging for me to tell someone. I used to do a lot of rituals when I was a teen. I thought it was cool, and at the time I didn't think anything could happen. I started when I was 12 with whatever I found on the internet that made me curious enough to try. Because of that, it was obvious I would have some experiences with ghosts and spirits. But one of them still bothers me till this day. One day it was around 6 to 7 p.m. Yes, I still remember. I went with my friend to a park that was far away from our houses. I must say only teenagers went there, but only when it was past midnight, so there was absolutely no one there when we arrived. We stayed there for a short time. I felt like I was being watched from behind the trees that were there, which were only a few, and I could clearly see there was nothing behind them, so it made me anxious. My friend noticed this and asked me, but I couldn't say anything. I wasn't physically able to speak, so I got even more scared. She suggested we leave before it got worse, so we did. We decided to go through another street since I was getting worse. I couldn't walk properly. I was really slow, and inside I was panicking since it felt like something was pushing and holding me, so I could not leave. My friend waited for me, and we left slower than I would have liked. Of course, it doesn't end there. I was so paranoid about it that I was turning around all the time. At this point, my friend was really scared, and honestly, she had all the reason to be. When we were reaching the end, I saw it. It was a figure, humanoid but not totally. It had no face, it was all white, but depicted that I knew it was smiling. It was dressed full black, and it was around 3 meters. It was far from us, but not too far. That immediately made me pale and urged my friend to get out of there as fast as possible. I had trouble breathing and I couldn't almost run. I turned around a few more times, but I could not see it again. When we left, I turned around and saw it there again, closer than before. So when I regained all my senses, I left running with my friend. But it doesn't end there. I encountered it again after some years in my grandma's house. My grandma's house has 2 floors, but the second one only has 2 doors that direct to 2 bedrooms. No hallway, no nothing, only stairs going up. One time when I was 16, I wanted to go downstairs, and I saw it again. It was all black this time, and I could clearly see that it had teeth. I knew it was the same one because I couldn't properly move or breathe. I remember going downstairs because I was not scared this time, but I don't remember what happened after that. When I came to my senses, I was sitting on the stairs when I saw it, but nothing was there, and I most certainly do not remember sitting down. I encountered it again sometimes, more though, through the years and even when I was outside of my town. One time I told another friend it was called Black Fighter, when I didn't even register those words were coming from my mouth. She looked at me firmly for some seconds without saying anything or even blinking. After that, she told me to walk her home, and I saw it again at the end of the street, but when I blinked, it disappeared. I accompanied her to her house, and when I left, I started to hear some music that sounded like it came from a music box. It was sort of circus themed. I stood there and waited for a bit. The more I walked there, the closer it seemed to get. I knew I had to get out of there when I heard some noises coming from the trees, so I quickly left. I told my mom today. about the first encounter because I thought it could be a nice story to scare her a bit, but she scared me instead with what she replied. She told me that in that same street a guy hung himself. No one knew and still doesn't know why. They said he was delusional and could not take it anymore. I've been having nightmares about it since I first saw it. At first the dreams were confusing and blurred. I could not tell what it was, but each time I have them, it gets closer and less blurry. A guy that my friend knew, the first one, worked studying ghosts and spirits, mightily since he only knew the basic. And he said I had a dark aura, that I should stop doing rituals, when I never told him and I knew my friend didn't either. He told me that he could help a bit, maybe make the presence go away. I had to sit in the middle of a circle surrounded by candles. Then he started talking, asking questions I vaguely remember. The door closed with a loud noise, and he said he wasn't gonna continue since I obviously continued with the rituals. One time my friend asked me to do a ritual with her, and I said yes. We didn't have the time to finish, because a door closed with a loud noise and a figure fell off a table. Her mother entered the room and told us to leave the house and do something more productive. My friend urged me to leave, and so we did. Her mother was working and wouldn't be home for several hours. After that, I stopped doing the rituals. I couldn't mentally take it, and I was exhausted. For some reason, I have the urge to start once again. I thought I could share this here since I'm feeling like it's gonna happen again. For some reason, talking about it here brings me a sensation of pain in my chest. But that did not happen when I told my mother. Maybe comment some opinions, advice, some similar experiences. I don't know. Whatever you can offer.